Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, all the many ways you support me, having me do your personal client readings for you and your family members or your intimate partners, your romantic relationships, and to do energy healing on you, your family members, again, your pets, all of that. I do really appreciate it, and I thank you. I just posted not too long ago the astrological readings, bi-weeklies for all of the earth signs, and that may be all I do. I am seriously considering not doing the other elements or the other signs, period, because I just have too many readings and energy healings to do, because you do trust me to do so many for you, and I really do appreciate it. I have too many to do to put my energy into the other videos that are not going to get a good enough response to even, perhaps help me to remain on YouTube with all their threats and their policy changes. I have to put my energy where it is most appreciated, where it's most supported. And so that's with the earth signs in terms of astrological readings, particularly the sign of Taurus. Those are my biggest supporters. And, I'm thinking about it because I know that there are some others of you that are like, oh, don't give up on us. And I don't want to. I don't want to not read for anybody. But particularly now, after December 10th, when YouTube officially published their new policies, I have to get the views, and so if I'm not, it requires so much energy, psychic energy and physical energy in general, right? So spiritual energy and physical energy for me to do these readings and do these videos. If I'm going to do all that and to have, nobody watch it, for what? When I have other stuff to do anyway, other readings, client readings that people have paid me for. Because right on top of that, these are free readings, right? I have things that people have paid me for that I have to have the energy to do and put towards. So I think about it, and you can keep letting me know if you're one of the people who wants them, because of course I'll take that under consideration. But right now I've only done Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and that's all I plan to do. But this is the general reading, still free, for divine beings, right? So the astrological readings are more for anybody who's interested in a horoscope, basically. And these readings are still primarily, anybody can watch them. It's still a free reading too on YouTube, posted in a public place, public venue. But my intention, my intended audience or target audience is spiritual beings, divine beings, twin flames, soulmate relationships, singles who are awakening or have awakened and are not sure in any direction. All right, so that's for whom I read. So this week there's nothing on any of the theological calendars. All three Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, no special holidays that I'm going to talk about on any of those calendars. So we're going to go straight to the planetary calendar or the celestial calendar for the week and start with today, December 15th at 2:01 p.m. Jupiter was trine Uranus. On the 20th, so that's Friday, at 1:41 a.m. Venus enters Aquarius. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a moment. Also on the 20th, at 1:15 p.m., Jupiter will be quintile Neptune. And lastly, on Saturday, the last day for which this reading is, on December 21st, guess what time? 11:19 p.m., the sun enters Capricorn. So happy birthday to any Capricorns who will be celebrating their birthday this week, and also to the last deacon Sagittarians. Happy birthday to you guys too. Let's get into Venus and Aquarius. For that, I'm going to www.tarot.com. Venus and Aquarius, friendly, optimistic, outgoing. They wrote or published this on November 25th, and the transit takes place between December 19th and January 13th. Venus is the planet that guides our desires, our money, and our one-on-one relationships. Because Aquarius is the sign of friendship It seems like it's an energy that would work quite well, that of loving Venus. But Aquarius can be an emotionally detached sign. I was talking to somebody yesterday about how detached I am, a Sagittarius actually. He didn't understand. I'm like, my chart is so Aquarius and Gemini and not much else. I just kept trying. He was like, but this is not making sense. Anyway, I'm glad that somebody else said it. Somebody else said it. Aquarius can be an emotionally detached sign, yes, which could put a confusing spin on love and intimate relationships, while Venus spends time here. Venus in Aquarius is a time to love with purpose and to uphold the ideals of unity, kindness, and individuality. We're called on now to surround ourselves with others and to open our minds to all forms of love. When Venus is in Aquarius, the line between love and friendship is very thin once Venus enters Aquarius. Aquarius rules friendship and groups of all kinds. So during this transit, we often find ourselves falling for people that we already know. We may realize those we've previously written off as just friends could be our perfect match. The likelihood of meeting a new lover through mutual friends and social outings also increases greatly while Venus is in Aquarius. Aquarius is less attached to its emotions than other signs, relying more on the head than the heart when relating to others. We aren't so interested in connecting over passionate encounters and sweet nothings while Venus is in Aquarius. Instead, we want to unite with those who think the same as we do. Aquarius loses grips on love. Aquarius's loose grip, rather, on love gives Venus room to move, making love less sticky and partnerships less confining. That explains a lot of what we got here. Our overall sort of energy or focus this week in a general sense is the Eight of Swords. And I just picked it up immediately about fear of moving forward. The Page of Swords and some of these other cards, and particularly as it relates to love, can be about, in reverse, by the way, can be about our need for freedom sort of affecting our love lives. I bet it's because of this transit. If in a committed relationship, Venus in Aquarius lightens the level of intimacy and encourages us to reconnect with honesty, friendship, and common interests that drew us to our partners in the first place. Working together on an emotional or social cause that's meaningful to both partners can also help to rekindle hearts during this transit. We may even find that we feel a lot freer to be individuals within our relationships. Venus in Aquarius makes it clear that pursuing our own passions separately enriches what we bring back to our relationships. Those of us who like the warm and squishy stuff might find others a bit standoffish during this transit. However, the Aquarian approach is less possessive and can bring a needed breath of reason and fresh air. back to this Eight of Swords that most represents our energy, like is our main focus. Eight of Swords shows up again. It can mean many things, but I feel most, especially with sitting next to the Fool in reverse, Temperance in reverse, and the Page of Swords in reverse. Was our Eight of Pentacles our overall energy? Was that in reverse before too? Or did I do this? Maybe every single card was in reverse? I hadn't realized. I hadn't noticed. It's about fear of moving forward. And I think it goes along with the other cards that we have too. So let me start over here with these. With the Angel Tarot, beginning or overall energy of the Page of Earth, who is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters, wanting to do something more challenging and maybe even a new area of study. This could be about us wanting to go to school, but maybe being a little afraid of it, wanting to learn something new, wanting to, do some sort of apprenticeship, to learn a new skill, to sit by somebody else's desk at the office and mentor under them, to spend more time around people who have a higher vibration than us spiritually and be mentored in that sense too, educated in that way also. Could have to do with our jobs. Maybe we've been offered a new job or we have an opportunity to take a new job, but there's fear of moving forward. Like, can I really do that work? My son is very, very smart. I mean, like ridiculous, way smarter than me. And I'm no dummy. And, can literally build a computer from scratch, like buy the pieces and put it together, and huge gaming systems and all this kind of stuff. He does custom for people. But, he's better at freelance. Why is he better at freelance? Why? Because he limits himself to that. Because he's sort of afraid to apply for these other things sometimes. Like, what if I can't do that contract? What if I can't fulfill those? Like, what do you mean, what if you can't? You're like a freaking genius. It may make sense if I ask that question, but not you. But we all have, things that we're like that about, even if we just lack confidence in ourselves. We know that we know this stuff, but we lack confidence about like, what are other people going to think? Am I going to be successful in front of other people? And so that's what this Page of Earth is representing. It's saying there's financial opportunity. There is, new job opportunity. There's new education opportunity, both in a literal sense in terms of academia and books and in your life. Like the School of Hard Knocks or school experience is the best teacher, as they say. So there's stuff going on potentially in our lives too that we can learn from and grow from. But we're afraid to move forward is what, at least, and this is only a reading for a week, right? So we can get beyond this. This is not even major arcana. This is minor arcana, which means that for me, the way I read the major arcana, it's representative of karmic energy, meaning of the universe. So there's nothing we can do about that energy. We're only in control of, our actions and reactions, especially in the situation where it comes to energy of the universe and things and what's going on around us that we have nothing to do with. But minor arcana energy, it is often us, right? We can manipulate it. We can change it. We can avoid it. And that's what we can do here with this Eight of Swords. Some sort of opportunity in any one of those areas or of some of those areas or all of the above that I just mentioned coming for us. And are we going to go for it? Now, maybe we're hesitant. Maybe we're afraid because we've had some difficulties in the past. When you see the Ace of Air, the Ace of Swords, it tends to mean, the Ten of Swords isn't far behind. It's in our recent past. We had some struggles. It was hard getting here, getting to this new beginning. This new beginning didn't just pop out of the air and isn't just 100% emotionally fulfilling like the Ace of Cups, for example. This one required some work. This required some trials and tribulations. We had to go up a mountain, like into the air, in order to reach the Ace of Air. So it may have involved some betrayal, may have involved, lies, hurt, codependency, addiction, all kinds of stuff. But we're here. Like I said, this is the mama we made it card, at least in my opinion, the way I read it. Brilliant new ideas and inspirations, seeing the truth of a situation and a challenging beginning. This also means cutting through the bullshit. With that, you take the big Ace of Swords, take that huge sword and cut right through all the crap straight to the truth. The truth comes out when the Ace of Swords shows up also. Now, that's the last upright card there. So moving on to the angel therapy cards. Be willing to forgive. Ask the angels to clear your mind and body of past pain in exchange for peacefulness. This is about moving forward too. Why are we clearing away past pain so we can move toward our future. But if we're afraid and we're holding on to the energy of the past because we're afraid to move forward. Okay, again, that's why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. Now, also behind that, so this past pain may be connected to our parents and or other family members or our childhood in general. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. Pay attention to that part, right? To the best of their ability. The angels are helping you to heal from any pain associated with your mother or father. That can be with the way they raised you. That can be with the way they failed to raise you. Maybe they weren't even around, or there's some sort of poor relations between you and them, or something that went unsaid. Maybe, if you without a parent, they passed away. Maybe they never said to you something you needed to hear. Maybe you feel like you never said to them something they needed to hear. And so you're stuck in the past too. Because I've also been, in general, particularly in the moon readings, getting a lot of this energy of like reminiscing on people and people passing away and inheritance and all that kind of stuff too. So there could be some things going on there as well. Now, Archangel Michael says, you can do it. This is the Ascended Master deck. He says you can do it. There's no reason to be afraid and to be holding on to the past. You can do it. You can move on to the future and be successful. And look, he's got the huge sword, like the Ace of Swords in his hand. His like nickname is the sword. And with the Animal Tower, the 10 of Summer, or 10 of Cups, it's time to express your love and appreciation for family. Maybe your parents, maybe your children, maybe your siblings, maybe your romantic partner. Page of Swords in this placement of love and romance can mean we haven't been saying what we need to say. It's important now to say what you mean and mean what you say. Congratulations may be in order also on a happy, fulfilling marriage, as well as raising happy and balanced children. So next to that, the Fool, next to the Eight of Swords. So this is the energy surrounding us. It could involve our energy, be our own, or also that of family, friends, co-workers, romantic, interests, both our experiences with other people. This is an energy like surrounding us. And the Fool in reverse, in a general sense, is about new beginnings. So sort of, Ace of Swords, maybe a little combination of all the aces, because it's new opportunities, could be in any area of your life with the Fool showing up this way, but like with a little bit of a deeper spiritual meaning also attached to it. And when it's in reverse, it tends to mean that you have resistance, right? You're afraid, again, potentially, especially with it sitting next to the Eight of Swords, you're afraid to move forward. There's a fresh start. It's like whether we like it or not, whether we're ready or not, here I come, is what the fresh start is saying. Because again, this is what I was talking about with the major arcana reading energy, the way that I read it. This is minor. We can manipulate this. We can work around it, go avoid it, do whatever we want to do with it. This is major arcana. This is karmic energy as far as I'm concerned. So it's like, and karmic just means like destined and of the universe. So it's coming. Now you're still in control of your actions and reactions. So what are you going to do with this energy when it comes? A new beginning is happening. Are you going to walk into it with a smile on your face and a positive attitude? Are you going to try to fight against the current? That's going to be the question we have to ask ourselves. In work, it can mean we have new ideas and things that we feel we can contribute to the office, to the company, to ourselves, if we work for ourselves, a way that we can, better our situation, but we're hesitant, we're afraid to implement them. We're afraid to move forward with those ideas. Maybe it's about what are people going to say, but it could really pay off if you are ready for a new position, a new start, because that's what the energy talks about. Temperance in the position of work and finance specifically, in addition to that, is also about you needing to sort of join with a group. It's not really like a good time to be like a maverick or, a lone wolf and off in the corner avoiding life or whatever. It's time for you to be part of the team, be a team player, be a part of the group, and help it to flourish. So it really is a good time if you have those ideas to put them out there. Like the company needs you right now, or again, if you are the company, you work for yourself or whatever, you need yourself. This is a time of abundance potentially for you. And with the sun entering Capricorn, Capricorn is the workhorse of the zodiac. Capricorn is also the ruler of the house of shared resources, right? So that could often include shared income. That's why it's such a big deal that Jupiter, the planet of karma and luck, and that brings us gifts and stuff, is entering the zodiac of resources, right? The shared resources, because it can mean increase for ourselves and for people closest to us, from which we also benefit. So like if my man gets a job, I just got a job too. Right, or if I get a job, my man just got a job, or he could say, we just got a new paycheck. You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. Or parent and child, mommy, is this the week you get paid? If you guys have kids, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. That question. Don't you get paid this week, mommy? And he's like, mind your business. What do you really want to ask me? That's when we're getting ready to ask you for something. In terms of love, as I mentioned before, I skipped over that part with the Fool. It's sitting here over the Page of Swords. Love, with the Fool in reverse, means we may be afraid, like, to share our freedom with our relationship, or we may be so focused on a need for freedom that we are hindering our relationships. Now, we may be doing that because as far as temperance is concerned, temperance can mean that we're feeling that the relationship is out of balance. And maybe we're feeling that we do too much. It doesn't mean that we actually do, but we might be feeling that we contribute, 80%. I just watched Why Did I Get Married the other day. Remember, you're 80-20. We contribute 80%. The other person is contributing 20. And so it's obviously, if that's the case, it's out of balance. And so maybe that's why we want to pull back a little bit. But it's important when temperance shows up in your relationships in reverse to have a conversation. Have a conversation with your partner if you're feeling like they're taking advantage of you maybe, or taking you for granted or whatever, and you're doing everything, they're not doing enough. Sometimes it requires us to take a good hard look at ourselves. And it also warns us not to push too hard. I feel like most of the cards in the position of love and relationship are in that consideration, warn not to push too hard, because pushing hard or chasing, particularly in love, is never a good thing in any way, like whether you're talking about tarot or not. Specifically with regard to finance as opposed to work, this card means that you need to ask your boss or your clientele or the universe even for what you deserve. And of course, you got to be willing to do your part too and do the work. And so that's where the balance comes in there. Your due abundance when the Temperance card shows up in reverse, and it should be coming to you, but you have to do your piece also. And that's the 50-50 between you and the universe, or you and your boss, you, the company you work for, you and your clients, and they're paying you fairly and you're giving them an equivalent, product or service or however it works. Now, our overall energy of the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, I'm hoping it was always in reverse and that I didn't flip it over or something. But it makes sense in reverse, because what it means is that, one, we are not necessarily ready or in the mood to do the work, and so that may be something that we have to check ourselves about. And maybe, again, we're not ready or in the mood to do the work because we're afraid, so it just keeps going around in a circle. This fear that is our most direct focus and energy over the next week plays a role in every aspect of our life, potentially. Specifically as it relates to love, I already told you what the Page of Swords means in reverse. Say what you mean what you say. There's obviously going to be some difficulty coming up, or there's a potential for difficulty in communications. And maybe that's because Venus enters Aquarius. We just read about what that, how that may affect people. So maybe that's why. Venus, the ruler of the other two air signs, Libra and Gemini, as well as Taurus, entering Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. And Venus is like the goddess and the planet of love, but Uranus is the planet of like higher love, like unconditional love. And so maybe there's, like a fight there too. Also like the deep spiritual love, that would all be Uranus. What else I want to say about this? So looking at the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords in reverse together, both of them in reverse, this could mean that we and or our partner are not ready or willing to do the work that we need to do to fix our communications and perhaps our relationship in general. So that's the focus. And I think on that note, we can do another spread. I think I've been over everything pretty thoroughly. And hopefully, I don't know what, I'm not looking at the clock, so I don't know how much time I spent on that, but hopefully it was just enough. I'm going to use these now. Look at me. All right, let's see what else is up with the energy this week. Crowning the masculine is Major Arcana card 21, the World. So the World for me has a fire feel to it. I can't explain what that means, but it feels like fire when I pick up the card. So I do connect it very strongly potentially to fire signs, not to anyone specifically. So Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, definitely be involved in this situation, or because it's Major Arcana and it's karmic for me. Mars direct himself could be involved. Planet of action, planet of aggression could be what's making this, forcing you to move through this energy. Or Jupiter, again, gifting you some sort of blessing and helping you out. Congratulations on successfully accomplishing what you've set out to do. It can mean a phase come to an end, right? You've gone full circle with something. So it's congratulating you because that phase is over. It's ending. You've made it through the challenges, Ace of Swords, right? And incorporated the lessons that life offered you with grace and courage. This could be involving a relationship, a job, basically anything. And for me, I call it my waiting to exhale card, because you can finally like breathe a sigh of relief when the universe steps in with that karmic energy to ease you out of a situation and into another one that's more befitting of your energy, your vibration, right? Your dimensional reality in this time. So for some of us, we're leaving a job. You could even be laid off or fired. I think based on the previous spread, more likely that somebody may quit or be promoted or again contribute something, and so they have their job changed because they're recognized for this other skill that they can do. But it can come in any of those kind of ways. With relationships, we're eased out of relationships, out of commitments, out of marriages, and helped out by the universe. We can feel like when you've been married 20 years, but some of us, know this life, right? You've been married 20 years, but you really knew you should have got and wanted to get divorced. Like 10 years ago, you thought about it. You probably should have done it then. You didn't. You look up, another 10 years have passed by. You're not getting any younger. And now it's like, ugh. But the universe steps in and helps you out. I always found it interesting. Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Will Smith was married to another woman, the mother of his first son. And he doesn't believe in divorce. So he never planned on divorcing her, even though he wasn't happy. And he had met Jada previously, but they didn't have a relationship, at least according to them, until he was divorced. The wife divorced him. So that's like the energy of the world stepping in, right? The universe stepping in. It sent her in to ask for the divorce because he was never going to do it. And that led him to a divorce and to the woman with whom he belonged. So it's that sort of thing that I'm trying to explain. Surrounding the masculine, it's Major Arcana card 15, Ego, or the Devil, which represents the sign of Capricorn. So I was just talking about Capricorn, right? And the blessings that it's going to bring, for example, when Jupiter steps into it, where he'll be for pretty like a close to a whole year. You may feel that you're trapped in your situation. So this could be connected to the Eight of Swords too from the last spread. But that's not true. Be careful not to overly focus on material wealth and break free of negative thinking. That negative thinking, you can manifest it the same way you can manifest positive thought. And so you bring negativity upon yourself when you do that. Masculine subconscious, there's a decision that has to be made. Right now we're in this place of indecision. It's specifically in your placement of like your thoughts. So like subconscious. So masculine, knowing that he needs to make a decision one way or another, but right now he's not doing anything. It's like, if I don't open my mail, I don't have to pay my bills. Procrastination and worrying what others will think is blocking you from making a decision. If you're torn between your own desires and someone else's, follow your inner guidance. We can't live for other people. Crown in the Feminine, very nice. This is one of my most favorite cards in general. It's better, it's prettier and stuff in other decks. This is all right. This is the Six of Autumn or Six of Pentacles. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, to acquire wise loans, and to receive a grant or a scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth of others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. I posted earlier about one of my clients who has purchased energy healing from me, not only on her own behalf and members of her family and her divine masculine and stuff, but for strangers to pay it forward. And she's not the only one. I have a number of clients who have paid $111, for the full thing or in part. I have one woman who likes to pay $144, so she pays above the cost of the Divine Light Cleanse, and it's paying it forward for strangers. Why? Because they continue to prosper. And when they prosper, they do that. That's what paying tithes is really supposed to be about. You're not supposed to just send a check for 10% to your church, whether they do anything or not. But you are supposed to give back to people or entities, organizations that feed you spiritually. That's what it basically says in the scriptures. And that's what I know to work for people. So I had for example, a client last week. She came into some abundance. I immediately got, my PayPal ding, and that she had sent me, a donation. She didn't have to. We hadn't discussed money. I never asked anybody for money. But this is but people know how the cycle is really supposed to work. The flow of abundance is really supposed to work. And that is it. And that's what the Six of Autumn is about. It's about assistance that comes from the universe, help, support, gifts, blessings from the universe. All of a sudden, my client's getting a new home. All of a sudden, my other client came into, some money. She got checks in the mail and stuff, and somebody had paid off her layaway, and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of abundance came. So she knew what she had to do at that point. I may not even be the only person she donated to, but I'm one of the people that received a donation from her because she received a donation from someone else. That's how it's supposed to work, and that's what this card represents in part. It's about assistance. It's about giving. It's about love being able to pass both ways, and it needs to be able to do that in order to be healthy. It's about our ability to both give and receive, because we've got to be able to do both for that flow to really be healthy and to work the way it's supposed to, the way the universe means for it to work. And it's about unconditional love for me, no matter how you slice it. Because even if you're talking about two strangers, if I'm a stranger and I'm passing another stranger on the street, they ask me for $1 and I take it out of my wallet and I hand it to them. I'm giving them that out of, caring. I don't want anything back from them. We're not going to have some other kind of exchange. And, I'm presuming that they have no further agenda either. They just wanted the $1. And so this is giving and receiving without agenda. That's unconditional love. All right, before I keep on, but you can see how much I love this card, how much I love the energy of this card. And it can mean a lot of things for people. So it can mean, some sort of act of love and kindness coming at you. It can mean blessings falling out of the sky, seemingly from the universe. It can mean opportunities to go to school. It can mean you getting approved for some sort of credit, loan, credit card, whatever. All of that happening. Scholarship, tuition, TAP, Pell, for college, grant, that sort of thing. Surrounding the feminine this week. Major Arcana card 4, the Emperor, which for me tends to represent large organizations, corporations, government agencies. So again, that can be from where some sort of blessing is coming. Government agency, federal loan, federal grant, something coming in. Amnesty, approval on anything that you're applying for. It could be something involving the DMV, immigration, some sort of approval or something coming in for you. That's a blessing. The Emperor can also be representative of a person in our lives, like a father figure, an authority. Might be connected to parents from the previous spread, or from the other cards. Structure and organization are important right now. Don't be afraid to take on a leadership role, as you have much wisdom to offer. The Emperor card represents the planet Mars for me, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio. So one of them could be particularly significant too for the feminine. And maybe there's an exchange of, again, unconditional love with an Aries or a Scorpio, or with a married man or a divorced man, or a man with children, or combinations of those. All of which represent the Emperor for me. Marriage material, like that kind of stable, I keep saying man, doesn't have to be a man, it could be a woman too. That kind of stable person, that has it together. That's, the ideal to marry, the family type of person. Feminine subconscious. Wow, it's the Empress. So this is a couple. Feminine situation this week, energy this week involving relationships for sure. Some of which are married. Some of which are married. Some of which are, when I say are married, I mean in the 3D sense. But I think even those who are not married in the 3D sense, or, so legally and on this plane, are married at the soul level, with the Emperor and the Empress showing up together. For others of us, this can have something to do, yes, with our parents. So this could be a father, this could be a mother, or father figure, mother figure, guardians. Empress is about new things, new blessings, new opportunity. Again, represents the planet Venus, ruler of the signs of Taurus, Libra, Gemini, all about abundance. She is the goddess and the planet of abundance, of love, confidence. So she can help us with this feeling of being stuck and stuff too. Time to hop into action. Use your natural creativity to bring forth prosperity and success in your life. Crowning the 2. It is Major Arcana card 12, Awakening, or the Hanged Man. So I talked about how I felt a bunch of people were going through awakening, an increased awakening, ascension. That may be why this is showing up. It's another very spiritual card potentially. Look at things in a different way and all will make sense. Don't worry if your progress is halted temporarily. Things will soon start moving again. The Hangman represents the sign of Pisces, and it's important to consider other people's perspectives when the Hangman shows up. So to look at things in a different way. And again, if you're experiencing something, for example, again, with the type of person I described here, looking at considering their perspective and their situation could be the gift here. Could also be the universe helping us, again, to allow love to pass both ways the way it needs to, and to both give and receive. Not to just be trying to take love, but to be giving it freely also without agenda. At the root, foundation, Major Arcana card 18, the Moon. It's important to trust your intuition, even if you're unsure of what's happening. All will be revealed soon, so worry is unnecessary. Major Arcana card, the Moon, also represents the sign of Pisces. So we're crowned and rooted by this energy of Pisces, and maybe more importantly, by the energy of the Moon. This could be the Gemini full moon influence coming in strongly here. I'm just looking at this table here. We have 6 Major Arcana cards in a 9-card spread. At the heart of the matter, that's a lot of karmic energy. Wow. Okay. Make that 7. At the heart of the matter, Major Arcana card 20, renewal or judgment. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. Major Arcana card Judgment for me represents the sign of Scorpio as well, the planet Pluto. So Scorpio's other ruler. It's about second chances, second time around. So not just for relationships, but that can certainly be too. Relationships, second chance, second time around. Somebody coming back perhaps from your past, a soulmate connection that could end in marriage, or maybe it's already a marriage and you've had some difficulties, or it's already a committed relationship or has been, but you've had some difficulties. You found yourself at a crossroad, and there's definitely potential for it to be healed. This can be about an actual judgment, like a legal judgment or decision, inheritance, or something coming in, some sort of blessing coming in somebody's way, a win for you if you got a legal situation or something going on, or again, like I said, something, the DMV or some sort of government agency, a large corporation versus you. There's a win, maybe not ultimately yet. You know, like the war might not be over, but this is at least winning a battle here for you against a larger force. And again, maybe something for the entire family with an overall energy of the 10 of Summer. We all eat, we all benefit off of this, whatever is coming. Judgment also is about abundance that is earned, the way that I read it. So it can also be about ascension and awakening. Like the universe rewarding you, promoting you, the universe giving you a raise, like very literally raising your vibration. And when the universe gives you a raise or promotes you, you know, as above, so below. So it ultimately shows up down here too, in some other area of our life. It's a judgment is also about, again, like I said, coming to sort of a crossroad with any and everybody. You know, it could be anybody in your life, and we need to decide, like, where do we go from here, if anywhere? And some people, it's the end of the road. So in business or in friendship or in a romantic partnership, it's the end of the road. And some of us are going to go further, and it's about deciding what we're doing there. Maybe that's why it's crossing major. That's why it's crossing the Two of Swords, Major Arcana card 20 or 2, crossing the 2 of Winter or Swords. So these are both very potentially about some sort of partnership with these 2s here. Let's clarify further with the other cards. I wonder if we're going to get the Major Arcana again like we just did. Okay. So crowning the masculine atop the world is the Queen of Earth. Thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges in a kind and understanding manner. So I think for the masculine, again, a cycle where abundance may have been abundance of any form. It can still be having to do with relationships or work or whatever. Some sort of abundance that's represented by this Queen of Earth here had been limited, and now it's about to flourish and grow, which makes sense of, based on our overall energy of the Page of Earth and the Ace of Swords that's immediately behind it. So we had been having some sort of struggle, perhaps, in an area of abundance, but now we're getting good news about it. The Moon also happens to be right behind that card. It was in reverse, so I hadn't mentioned it before, but now the Moon showing up twice for us. And immediately behind that, Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel, which is all about abundance. Jupiter stepping in to give you that boost. A time of positive change, a situation suddenly moves forward, and fortune is on your side. I could keep going because it's all the cards that we just saw in our other spread. Next card is the Eight of Earth. Remember, we had an overall energy of the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Skilled work is rewarded. Learning all there is to know about a topic and maybe even going back to school. So definitely think there's a turnaround, a reversal of fortune, as they say, for the masculine in the area of fortune and abundance. It can actually have something to do with a Queen of Earth. Maybe a parent, mother. Doesn't have to be, could be anybody. Might be a direct earth sign, a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. Someone likened to those traits or attributes. The Queen of Earth is thoughtful, creative, warm, and sensible. Make time for those around you. Take a sensible approach and deal with challenges like the Ace of Swords or the Page of Swords in reverse maybe, in a kind and understanding manner. Surrounding the masculine, a top major arcana card 15, Ego or the Devil. So this can definitely be a Capricorn. I think I said Capricorn first and foremost, as well as a Virgo or a Taurus. Top Ego, the Four of Air. Time to rest or take a vacation. Allow more time before making a decision. Meditation may provide answers. So yes, when the Four of Air or Four of Swords shows up, it does mean you need some sort of break. If you're feeling stuck somewhere, maybe you need a break to decide, to make a decision, to decide what your move is going to be, especially with the Two of Swords sitting here. We know the decision had to be made. So that may be what he's thinking on. This can be about actual need for a vacation, like a real break. You got to get away. This can be, babe, I need a break in terms of relationships. It can ultimately be break up if you want to take it that far. It's about rest and recovery. But I think considering the combination, it's rest and recovery to give you some time to meditate and think about what your next move is. Maybe about whether or not you're going to take the opportunities that are being presented to you, that the major arcana card, the Fool, was offering us in the last spread, for example. Masculine subconscious, atop the Two of Winter or Swords, the Three of Winter or Swords, Three of Air. Great sadness. Take time to heal. There's a need to forgive yourself and others. So you could be making a decision about something that's affecting you emotionally, obviously. Two of Swords and Three of Swords coming together. It may have to do with relationships. Maybe one person hurt the other, or there was enough hurt to go around. Both of you did. And so now you're thinking about how to handle it, how to approach it, whether or not to. Maybe we'll come to a crossroad. What are we going to do? We're going further? Are we the end of the road for us? What's happening here? And this Four of Air can be you getting over the hurt. It could be representative of you having already gotten over the hurt. And or, again, you making a decision and needing to meditate on what your next move is or your next step. Atop the Six of Autumn for the feminine, the Nine of Fire. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have courage and believe in yourself. So not only is some sort of assistance coming in, it may give you a boost, like you've been feeling sort of down and out. The universe might be saying, okay, here's some, it's like, well, if I get the money to do this, to pay for this, then I'm going to do it. And if I don't, then I'll take that as a message to not, go any further. And then it's like, okay, the universe says, okay, here's the money. And you're like, oh, all right. So now I know I got to keep going. It's like the universe giving you whatever kind of help you need so that you can keep pushing, keep moving towards something. And again, for some people, it's you against some sort of larger entity, you against, a corporation or a government agency or something. And you're not meant to give up. You are meant to keep going, even if it's been draining. Even in the case of a relationship, the universe is saying, here's a token, whatever that means for you. If that means, it's to help you to step away from a relationship or it's to help you to repair one. The universe saying, here's a token, here's a boost, here's some energy, keep pushing. Surrounding the feminine, atop major arcana card, the Emperor, is another 10 of water, 10 of cups. We have one here as the overall energy, and now we're getting another one. That can mean your happiness lies with the Emperor, if he's a person. That can mean, again, something's going on with an entire family. Maybe this is representative of the father of the family or father figure, or this could be involving some sort of inheritance or something. And so the whole family is benefiting. Some sort of settlement, some sort of legal situation, some sort of situation with the government or something. The whole family is benefiting because one is benefiting. A contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, and you have trustworthy relationships. Atop the Empress is the Three of Earth. So the Empress herself is kind of like a Three of Earth because, again, Venus is the ruler of abundance, and she's also the ruler of the sign of Taurus. So she is kind of like, this card is kind of like a Three of Earth. but this is the major arcana version. This is the minor arcana version. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, be a team player. So for me, similar to major arcana card judgment, this is about abundance that is earned, the Three of Earth. You do the work, you're reaping the benefits. You're going to get some sort of reward, award, recognition, combinations of those. Something is coming for you. Also potentially tied to ascension. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that when 3 shows up, they could have something to do with some sort of party of 3. Not necessarily a love triangle, but that can be. It can also be, you know, parents, maybe, again, emperor, empress, and child, siblings, co-workers, something going on at the job. Crowning, atop the hangman, is the Knight of Earth, loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. I definitely think this is actually tied to awakening for a bunch of people, and maybe more so those people of the masculine persuasion and or male persuasion than female and or feminine. But, you know, doesn't have to be. The Knight of Earth of Pentacles is the one knight of the 4 who you can always count on. He always reaches his goal. He is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. He's also a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He moves slow and steady. He makes a plan, and he follows that plan, and he completes that plan, and he reaches his goal. I think it's very much tied to this slow and steady progress, consistent progress, as it relates to awakening and ascension, through which many of us will be going. At the root, atop major arcana card, the moon, it's another emperor. So now we have the emperor crossing the emperor. There's something you don't know about the emperor, about your father figure, the man you're dealing with, maybe older, again, maybe a married man, a divorcee, a widower, the marrying kind, a government agency, a large corporation, something you don't know about the situation, but as I've, other stuff I've pointed out, very important. Use your intuition in seeking guidance. And if you're guided to move forward in any kind of way or take any kind of action, do it without being worried about what you don't know. At the heart of the matter, atop judgment is judgment. Boom. Boom. How you like that? Major Arcana card 20, renewal. So much abundance this week. So much repair of relationships. So many opportunities for people to get back together or try something again. Take on a job that they missed out on years ago. It's coming back around, a new opportunity to work for that same company. They want you now. You wanted them before. All that kind of stuff is what these two cards together twice over mean. On that note, further advice to y'all. Okay, the masculine's getting 2 Ascended Master cards. I wonder if the twin judgment cards are coming because of the Gemini moon too. Gemini, the twins. All right, so the angel therapy card for the masculine this week, Earth Angel. You are a light worker who has come to Earth to teach about love. The masculine has been getting this card over and over and over again. Again, this is part of the ascension as far as I can feel and tell. And that's why I felt that the Knight of Earth was also about, it's an Earth Angel. You're the Knight of Earth. Slow and steady, consistent progress with your growth, masculine, is coming to you. And you're going to just continue to learn more and more and more about yourself and, to get stronger in your gifts and intuition, and definitely guided to pay attention to it and use it in your decision making. For the feminine, crown chakra. Pay attention to your ideas as they are messages of true divine guidance sent in answer to prayer. Crown chakra is very representative of air signs, or air signs represent and rule the crown chakra. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There's also 2 moons in this card. I don't know why there's a moon in this building, but there's 2 moons in this card. So again, I was just talking about the twin moon, full moon, the Gemini full moon. I think it's affecting the feminine and giving you a lot of ideas and thoughts, right? Because that's what Gemini rules. A lot of ideas, thoughts, communication. What are you going to do with it? Use it positively. The masculine's first angel, ascended master card is crystals. So guided to work maybe with some crystals this week. Now speaking of the Gemini full moon, I had got a channeled message, intuitive message from the moon, that he wants us to, or she wants us to wear metal and to use metal. So there's stones that, are essentially metal. Like I'm wearing a hematite bracelet here. So I still have my rose quartz over the pulse of my, over my life pulse. Still have this love stone, but I got this hematite. I got some hematite on my ankle too. Got my feng shui bracelet over here. It's black obsidian, so this would be lava stone. That's not metal, but I have more metal. I have silver bracelets on my ankles, and so I'm drawing in that metal energy that the universe guided me to do. Gemini and air and swords is basically the metal element, particularly in the Chinese zodiac. So like, for example, I'm an air sign in the traditional zodiac and in the Chinese zodiac, and I'm a metal pig, right? The year of the pig, which is this year. And like the first week of February element. I think fire rat, I believe so. So yeah, if you have an opportunity, if you have any like pyrite, malachite, hematite, gold, silver, copper, titanium. I got a titanium ankh in my earring in my left ear. All that kind of stuff. You guys can ask me also in the comments. That's what I'm thinking of so far. For the feminine, we may have something, again, that we have to work out with maybe specifically our mother. This represents a relationship with a feminine energy in your life. It could be your very own feminine energy and you need to go within, do some introspection, heal a part of yourself. But with our mother, wife, sister, daughter, potentially we have some sort of situation that requires healing and attention from us and nurturing. The masculine's second card from the Ascended Masters is Come Out of the Closet. And this card is about, anything that you've been hiding, you've been like living your life in secret, whatever that means. You don't have to. People have the right to, be free and live out loud and love out loud. And this card here, your 2 of air, talks about making decisions based on what other people think rather than you. So this, of course, Come Out of the Closet guides you to make decisions on what you heart. Yes, what you heart. What's in your heart to do. What you want. What's in your heart to do. What your soul is telling you to do. What it feels like your soul's purpose is. That's where you're guided to move. The masculine from the Angel Tarot cards is another major arcana card 15. So he has one here in his surrounding energy. There could be a devil in his mists. And now he's got a second one in his advice. Major arcana card 15, ego, a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. Again, this can also have to do with codependency, addictions to people, substances, bad habits, all of that. Something that we need to address. And represents the sign of Capricorn, further to that. For the feminine, it's another 8 of air. We started the reading with an 8 of air overall focus for the week. 8 of swords. And feminine got another one. an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, and being afraid to take action. So there's just a need to, shake off that fear and rebuild our confidence, maybe by doing some sort of crown chakra meditation or healing, listening to binaural tones. There's a few different things we could do that may help us. For the the masculine rather, from the Animal Tarot, the Princess of Summer, Page of Cups. Sensitive, kind, open-hearted, and inexperienced. You can expect to kindle a new romantic relationship or a close platonic friendship. You may suddenly receive an emotional message from someone or be invited to a social event. The Princess of Summer is a Pisces, like the Hangman and the Moon here already. So Pisces may be particularly significant this week. Or Cancer or Scorpio or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Doesn't have to be a water sign or, cups element at all. This can be some sort of offer of love, something that puts a smile on your face, a call, a text, an offer related to jobs, related to work, related to friendship, any and everything. It's good news that is coming your way, basically. And lastly, for the feminine, the Six of Spring, reward. You may receive a promotion, right, to go along with your Six of Earth. Be chosen for a scholarship or find that you're singled out for some sort of special recognition. You've done an amazing job and you deserve all of the attention. Abundance that is earned. Told ya. Boom. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the weekly. I will be back with the love reading. If you'd like a private reading from me, energy healing from me, merchandise, any and everything that I, could possibly provide you, including friendship. All the information on how to do that and get in contact with me will be in the description box below. I appreciate you for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and share it if you don't mind. Namaste.